Okay, Chelsea, after graduating college and weighing more than 215 215 pounds, I found myself feeling depressed, out of breath, and uncomfortable in everything I wore. One day, I woke up and decided I had enough. I did not want to feel that way anymore. I started, when I figured that out, I started working out, and before I knew it, I was addicted to my new lifestyle. Very good, that's a good thing to be addicted to. I, unfortunately, am kind of addicted to shoes, so anyway, I love feeling confident, strong, and in control of my actions. I can help you do the same. If you just as committed to seeing yourself win, I believe in you and the inner strength you possess. You know, I don't know anybody that hires you as a coach, they're gonna not just get just coaching, but that empowerment, for a young person that has so much life and so much confidence, and use all the things that you've been through and that help you to empower others. That's a good thing because a lot of times things happen to people in life and they kind of sit back and like, woe is me. You did not do that. You kind of like me, you know what? Life slaps us on one side, we turn the other side, we're like, okay, let me see how this is gonna work. So I want to just congratulate you and tell you how super proud I am to even know you and to be a part of your life. We've worked together on different gigs and different things. Right now, we had a big fashion show planned because of this COVID, whoever his name is, I don't know what his name is. Everything is on hold, but guess what? That did not stop us. Like you and me, we can't go to our clients. We figure out a way to, who would I think, you can do your fitness online, Right. And it's amazing the things that come out of the tragedy or challenges. And that is what we want to empower our listeners. That yes, life may have thrown some crazy stuff your way, but you know what? Life give you lemonade, make some lemonade. Life give you lemons, make some lemonade. And I was telling you, there's two ways to make it. There's the black people who make it from sugar, the white people make it from sugar. I'm just saying. So go ahead and make that lemonade. Do not let what happened in life stop you. So Chelsea, I am really excited for you being there. Welcome and thank you very much. Earlier on we were talking just about how your family and how are you guys coping. Just tell us real quick with this COVID thing that's going on and being in the fitness industry and modeling and these different things, how are you guys coping with that and how has that changed your life?
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise. So my husband and I, we got married back in February, and the whole COVID thing really hit the United States about mid-March. So we had to quickly transition from how we were doing things before to moving my entire business from an in-person business to online, like 100% online. So like even my clients that I was seeing face to face, we had to transition their training, their nutrition. So now we do like virtual check-ins, we do live workouts. So like I'll FaceTime them and we'll go through the workout together. We're still tracking progress. They're still seeing results. And we even started doing more for the people that we weren't training. So because I was actually able to spend more time at home, I started doing something called the midday charge. And on Monday through Friday, if you go to our Facebook page or our YouTube page, you can catch us live for a 15-minute workout at 1 o'clock p.m. And each workout is different. Like none of them are the same. It's constantly changing. And for the people that have been consistent since we started at the end of March, they've seen drastic results like weight loss, better functionality, better mobility, better confidence. And it's only with 15 minutes. And most of them are body weight. There's a few that aren't, but we give you the heads up if they are or aren't. And then we even started doing like group classes online. So if you were a person before that was like, I, really want to work out, but I don't really want to do it necessarily by myself because you want to work out with like-minded people, we now do virtual group classes. So for Mother's Day, we hosted a Mother's Day Fine Cut class, and our Fine Cut class is a women's only conditioning and strength training class. And we had like 7 ladies show up, and it was amazing. And they all from various ethnicities and age ranges and mobility and disabilities were able to participate and still get a good workout in 30 minutes. So that's a big portion of what I enjoy about the quarantine, is that it allows me to serve others better, and just expand out that business. And even my husband, he's jumped in now, so he goes live on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, and he does like a full 15 minutes of stretching. So if you are like me and you are very tight because you don't stretch nearly enough, or you just notice like in the mornings you get up, it's a little achy and creaky, just doing that 15 minutes makes a huge difference in your day to day. And we're just giving that away to people because we want to share the love that we have for fitness and the benefits that we've received from doing it with as many people as we possibly can.
That is such a blessing to be giving back like that. I mean, that's why we do these shows. That's why I tell everybody we bring guests on here that are professionals and that give back to the community, because I always believe in what the Bible says, iron sharpens iron, and I want to make sure that whatever gifting that we have, that we can share it with somebody else. But I must commend you, and again, congratulations, because you got married in February, and bang,
Yeah.
shut down everything. But in a way, that's pretty much a cool, nice, I know it was crazy, but nice honeymoon. That you have to go to work. We have like a whole 3 months of honeymoon. I'm just throwing this in there. But to be able to, the both of you just got married, and you both work your industries. You have to go to your clients, and there this happened, and it's just amazing how you can just turn it around and say, okay, you know what, this is what we're gonna do, and that's what entrepreneurs do. I just got certified as a business and life coach, and that is what, even before I started doing that, that's what I always encourage my people to do, is that life is gonna throw obstacles at your way. There's gonna be challenges, and even I go back to the Bible because that's my foundation. It says, in this world you will have trouble. It's a promise, but just know that even if there's trouble, there is a way of escape. So even if we face challenges, we have to ask ourselves, this challenge that I'm going through, what am I supposed to learn from it? Sometimes we either have to change a habit, or we have to change something, or we have to give something. And I am so thankful that you've chosen, to give back to the community. And I know later on in the show, we're going to do a 15-minute workout. I'm just going to let you know, I have to mind the camera, and I can't take my headphones off, so I might not be exercising. I'm just kidding. So, but I am excited about that, and I pray that even more people come on, so they'll be able to get that fitness, get it going, and you teach your clients, how to eat and all this different things. And guys, if you are right in the bio where we wrote the description, you can see her information is there. I'm telling you, she's phenomenal. She's amazing. You see this beautiful smile? That is who she is, inside out. The first day I met her, I think we met at a restaurant in person, and I just loved you the first time I saw you. Since that day, we've just been like, I'm like, I don't want to steal your mother's glory, but I'm like a mother to you. So you're like a daughter to me, and this time I'm just borrowing you for a little while, because I know she's listening. But you are just a blessing, and I'm thankful that you are one of my daughter's best friends, because I know you've empowered her. She's empowered you, and I'm really just grateful. And it's such an honor to have you on here and to have you speak out about your journey, that you can encourage another young person. So we're going to run right into the plan. First of all, tell us, how did you get involved in the business of health, wellness, and personal training? And I know some of my viewers, I've seen your pictures, on because I shared a picture, because I think you do it professionally too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and tell us how you got involved in the business and wellness and personal training.
Yeah. So for me, I've had different experiences with fitness. I used to competitively swim when I was younger. And unfortunately, when I was 12, my mom ended up getting sick with kidney failure. And I watched her struggle with that for the last 17, well, 16 years. And she was a really big motivator for me. You know, she'd always encourage me to do better, take better care of myself, to eat better, live healthy. And like every teenager, you know, I didn't listen because I did what was best and I did what I wanted to do. And you know, like I was just eating whatever. I went to college and I was a fine arts major in college, which means I had crazy hours and I just would eat whatever I would find. And I was also an emotional eater. So anytime I was stressed, I would just grab food as comfort, you know. And when I was graduating with my first degree, I did a photo shoot actually with my dad. And I got the photos back and I was very self-conscious, to be truthfully honest. I did not like the way I looked in those photos. I didn't like how I felt even taking the photos. And I realized that I didn't have to feel that way and I didn't have to look that way or be that person. And I just needed to figure out how to make a change. And so my first change was to figure out diet, because I was like, I have a very unhealthy relationship with food and I want to have a healthier relationship with food, so I'm not in this never ending repetitive cycle of, you know, you eat really good, you see some results, you know, get upset, you eat bad, you undo all the stuff that you just did, and you just constantly live in that cycle. So I first started doing, you know, nutrition, and I was just getting nutrition tips from everywhere. Like I tried, you know, the fad diets, those didn't work. So I had to teach myself how to properly eat. And once I got that down, I lost the first 50 pounds by myself. And then I was like, okay, the eating thing I've got, well, let me go ahead and lift some weights, because now I want to tone up. Because what I didn't want to do was drop weight too fast and then have my skin get all saggy, you know, and loose. And I was like, we'll take it slow. So I took it slow, started teaching myself how to exercise. And before I knew it, I had reached this like comfortability with fitness where I was like, I kind of like it, but I'm not really sure. And one of my friends, my coworkers, Andrew, he suggested that I look into bodybuilding. And when I first thought about bodybuilding, my thought was, ew, you know, I don't want to look all like extra ripped and like muscly, and like, you know how we tend to think female bodybuilders look, which is obviously not the case because there's different classes in bodybuilding. But to the general person who doesn't know, I didn't want to look a specific way. And once I started doing more research, I was really interested in it. And I got a coach, hopped into my first competition, did terribly. Like, I got 15th out of, I think, only like 30 girls in my class. So I was like smack in the middle of the pack, and I had trained for a year and dieted for a year, and I didn't like it. And I was like, there's gotta be another way. So I ended up switching coaches, and he taught me a lot about more, you know, more in depth for nutrition and how to really train for, you know, long term versus just the short term.
Wow.
And the second competition, I came back and actually won my division.
Yeah.
Right, so this is a complete 180. And that always goes to tell people, I'm like, if you can't do it yourself, find somebody who can. And there's always somebody who can.
Yes.
And I took the knowledge that I got from that coach and I ran with it. And from there, I've never really looked back. I haven't competed again. And obviously, during this season, nobody's really competing. But I would love to do it again. And I've trained others to go to competitions and even just having a better relationship with food. And in that process, so before my first competition, I actually got my personal training certification because I had started to help my mom to lose weight. I was helping other people around me lose weight. And I was like, well, let me make sure that I have all of my bases covered. So I got my personal training certification, and it's been a wrap ever since. Like, I've fully invested myself in that. I quit my big girl job, much to my parents' dismay. You know, the job with the 401k and health insurance. And I was all in for fitness because I knew for me that this is where I was supposed to be. And that is how I ended up here.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
you know, one of the things that you said, you did not give up. Because even the first time, you know, when I think what you said, you came in number 15.
Yeah.
But you realize, okay, it's not one coach doesn't fit all. This coach might have worked for somebody else. That is what sometimes we have to do. Like, okay, did not work this way. Let me find someone else. Let me find another path. Let me find another way. But that's what we want to encourage people. Never give up on your dream. If it doesn't work one way, there is another way. And if anyone is telling you, you know what, that you were not meant to do this, you walk the other way. While you were saying this, I remember what a teacher said to me when I went to college, because I had started college right after I got married, and then, but once I had my kids, I stayed home, and then I decided that I was going to go back to college.
Mhm.
I went to the first class, I think I went to a math class, and I really honestly don't like math, algebra, all these things. I didn't like it. But I am a person that if you teach me, I will learn. If you take the time with me, then I will learn. So when I did the entrance test, I did okay in every other thing except math. So I had to take, I mean, literally like the lowest math. I don't even know what you call it, but it was like a beginner's math. I'm in college, and I still, when it comes to algebra, I could not do that. But the teacher though, she literally shut me down, and which I think as a teacher, sometimes you may have a student that you feel that is not learning well. To me, it's your responsibility to say, you know what, I know all the others are really fast, they did really well.
Right.
Like Jesus did not he did not leave that one sheep back, you don't want to leave back that one person. So I would go to her and say, well, is there a way that, we can work together or you can help me? And she didn't really go for that. She told me one day that I needed to quit college because I'm doing so bad. And I really was doing bad. I had an F in the class. And, she's like, I don't think college is for you because you can't even get simple math. And
Wow.
I left the school that day and I was like, you know what? I failed so bad and I don't think this is going to work for me. So I decided that I'm just going to quit. But driving home, I just like, no, I'm not gonna quit. You know what? And then we had the class was like, they have the community classes. So if you don't want to go to the actual university, you can take classes right in the community. So I said, I'm just gonna drive straight down to the university because it was a morning class. I drove straight down to there. I went into the advisor's office and I spoke to someone, and then she said, we have a teacher that really works really well with students like you. So I said, okay, well, let me just try her. So I took her class, and the class that I was in before, it was a 10-week class, and I was already like 5 weeks in, and I was failing. I am not kidding you. The new class I took, it was a 5-week class. It was a much shorter class. I was able to finish that class and get an A in the class.
Awesome.
So I say that to say that sometimes one person may not be able to work with you, and even as coaches, we know that if it did not work with one person, you guys don't give up. Keep going, keep fighting, keep pushing, because your dream is possible. We're going on to the second question. It says, what are your personal fitness goals?
So my personal fitness goals. My husband is a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo, so I want to learn more about martial arts. And he taught self-defense class a couple months ago, and I learned a lot in that class. And from there, it spurned a greater love for fighting for me. So I want to learn more martial arts, and I want to learn to have better explosive movement. So I've been working on like calisthenics and other things like that. So that's one of my fitness goals, is to really to push myself to the next level. Bodybuilding was fun. I'm not giving it up, but I want to try other things and see just, how far I can really push my body. But nothing wild. I'm not going to do any backflips or 540 kicks, none of that. But to really
that's I'm looking forward to take that class too, because I know that I've spoken to your husband, and we will actually put in a fitness class together that we would have at my center in Fayetteville. And because of all this craziness, we were going to do it in December, didn't work out, and then you guys got married, and I'm like, okay, maybe March, and then everything just went. But we're still planning to have it, because we actually already have some sponsorship.
Awesome.
And the first group that we want to use, we're catering to women that have been abused, because you guys know this is something that is really dear to my heart. So we want to be able to teach them some self-defense class. So we're looking forward to have your husband, and I'm sure before we have that class, I'm going to have him on my show too. Hopefully he'll accept my invitation.
Absolutely.
So I want to do some fitness classes too. So because I want to know how to defend myself Because, being scared to be in a house by yourself and putting a knife under the pillow and putting the chairs and
Oh,
tools
no.
behind the door.
That's one way to feel secure,
I
though.
give up all my secrets.
Right, I was like, you have to move all of them now.
What?
Right, I was like, you can't keep them there.
Because the other acts like, oh, you know what? I need to go and lock the front gate door because then no one's going to be able to get in. So yes, I definitely, this is a class that I know that is definitely that all, not just women, but that every one of us should take those Taekwondo classes. So
Yes.
we're looking forward to have Gerald and there too. Okay, tell me please, and our listeners, tell us what inspires you.
What inspires me? I'm inspired to be the best version of myself. And that's in any way possible, as a godly woman, just trying to give back as much as possible to better understand my relationships with others and how I function in this space, and to give as much of myself as I can to enrich as many people as possible. Because I didn't have that when I was starting out, and I wanted to give that to other people. Because I feel that I have the capacity to give. I have lots of love and lots of energy and enthusiasm, and a passion for what I do. And that inspires me, and just people around me inspire me all the time. I look at my husband, he inspires me. I look at our son, he inspires me. He overcomes obstacles every single day. He's 7 and he's autistic, and just watching his development from January all the way through today, he's continually just teaches me things, patience and love and grace and more patience. And like my mom, she was a really big inspiration. Watching her fight, for her life, really, for 16 years to finally get her kidney transplant. That was huge for our family. My dad, he's an inspiration. I have so many people around me that are inspirational that I have a hard time not being inspired to be a better version of myself.
Very good, very good. That's very good. I like, and it's funny because I was just gonna go off a little bit and then talk about moms, and so we'll definitely do that. But you said one thing that you said is that stood out to me because that's how I see myself too. That when whether it was growing up or starting in the industry that we're in, we didn't have anybody to support us or to show us the ropes. I learned literally everything in the fashion, on pretty much on my own, and by the grace of God and God giving me direction. Even when I would ask people for help that had already, I thought surpassed me, they would just tell me, you know what, we'll just wing it. Or they would hide the stuff from me. And it's amazing how God just is like, you don't need them.
Yeah.
Send me off this way, I had to depend on Him. And even going through some different trials and tests, that's why now it's like a blessing for me to be able to give back and to help people and to let people know that their dreams are possible and to let them know that God has already placed in each and every one of us a gift. And a lot of times people die not even recognizing, not even knowing what their gifts are. A lot of times people they allow what other people say or telling you, I don't think you can do this. Those outside voices, and it stops them. And that's where you and I come in. We have to take that sense. We're going to empower people to reach out for their dreams. So what if you try and you fail? Better to have tried and fail than not try at all. So
exactly.
It's such a blessing that as God pours into us, that we can give back. I'm just gonna just a little bit of the topic. Now this month I guess it's part of the topic. We're recognizing mothers for the whole month of May, and I know we can never even give back to mothers as much as that they have put in the sacrifice that they have made. And I just want to give a shout out to all the mothers out there.
Yes.
And just to say, we appreciate you guys. And I'm a mother myself, and I love being a mother, and I just want to just say that mothers, you are a blessing, and you are God's gift to this world. So tell us just a little bit about, and I know you touched a little bit about on it because you became a new mom, a wife, a mom, and all of this, and then the corona and all of this. Tell us if you it's up to you if you want, just a little bit. And you did tell us a little bit about your mom. So I wanted to say have Happy Mother's Day or Mother's Month to your mom and to all our listeners that a mom, whether you give birth to a child or not, and you are a mom, that's who you are. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
So yeah, go ahead, just tell, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, ironically, today is also my parents' anniversary, so they're celebrating 34 years of being married, which is a long time.
Oh wow. Happy anniversary.
Yes, and my mom is a fighter. Like, she is adorably cute, but she's extra
Yes,
feisty.
I love her.
And she has pushed me to try everything. She always, from the time I was a kid, she was like, I can't ride a bike, but you're about to learn how to ride a bike. I can't swim, but you're gonna know how to swim. So my mom was always the first to like toss me into a new experience. She's from Jamaica, so culturally I have two different backgrounds with parents. My dad's American, mom's Jamaican, so the way that they raised me was fantastic, and just how supportive my mom always is. I will give her the craziest ideas, and she doesn't typically shoot me down. There might be one or two where she's like, Chelsea, that's a little wild, but she's always one of my biggest supporters. She's always cheering in the front, and if I'm ever feeling like down and out, one of her favorite phrases to tell me is, well, put your big girl panties on, and it's basically her way of saying, get it done, because I know you can do it. And she does nothing but speak life into me, and I love and appreciate her for that.
Amazing, amazing, and you know, I met your mom, and she's a beautiful woman, and I remember when I think it's when we did it was a Christmas program.
Yeah, the fashion
And
show.
the person there was someone I was supposed to help in serving the food, and my friend Shay was there dressed in her gown, and your mom, and they all dressed, and they ended up helping in the kitchen and putting things around together in a way that I did not even imagine. So, I mean, it's when I was like, wow, it's such a blessing, and she's a beautiful woman. I thank God that she got the healing 100%. We're believing God for that. And I met your dad as well. I just jumped in there, and I think we didn't have a sound system or something, and then it was just like family. It was amazing. And that is why when people or your parents or whoever give it to you, we try to give back. And I thank God. I thank God for you and you stepping out and starting your business, because what that does, it empower other young people. That's the same thing I said to my daughter. My goal for her, what I want for her is what God has already placed in her. I want her to be the best version of herself. I want her to be who she's called to be, not who I think that my daughter should be. Because I went through it, being married for like 20 years, and I had to follow the pattern of what my husband at the time wanted me to be. And even if I knew, I did not want to be a nurse. I was going to nursing school. I worked at the hospital, and I was the best dressed nurse at the hospital. My scrubs did not look like anybody's scrub. I went to work with my heels on and my beads and my jewelry. When I get to the hospital, then I take them out, but you would not find me in the tennis shoes and stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is not what I want to do. But I was doing it to please somebody else. So that is what we want to tell our listeners. We want to empower you to be the best version of yourself. Because you're happier when you're you versus when you're just dragging along. Well, you know what? I just get into this because I need to get a paycheck. No, step out, man, and reach for your dreams.
Yeah, walk in your purpose.
It is possible, and if you can do it, I can do it. And it may not be easy, but we fall flat, we get up, and we go again. tell our listeners, what are you known for? And I'm not sure if we touched on that, but what are you known for?
What am I known for? I'm known for having crazy amounts of energy, being extremely positive. Um,
We need that.
always, yes, I'm extremely optimistic. You know, like my clients always joke, they were like, you just have so much energy all the time. Like, do you just wake up like that? I'm like, I do. Like, I love what I do, and I am always willing to learn, you know. So
Very good.
I constantly am learning new things, changing new things, trying new things, you know, and that
That's
is what
amazing.
I'm known for. Positive spirit and just constantly learning.
And you're right. You are very empowering and encouraging because I know we've done several gigs together. And again, when we were doing the fashion show, and I think when I had my TV show, and the TV show will be coming back on in the next few months when all this is over. Will be the studio is already set up. We're just waiting to get back in there. But I remember it's like every time I thought something wasn't going to work out, you were so positive. And even we did not rehearse anything, you're like, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. I was like, oh, okay. So I am grateful to you for that as well. Very, very empowering. Continue to keep that fire burning, continue to keep shining like that because sometimes you may not even need to speak to someone, just that energy and that positivity you have about you, it will draw people to you, it will shed that light, and that is what people need. That's what we need in this world today. People that, regardless of the challenges that you're facing, and we all have challenges, you're not gonna let that just down for your day. And that, I have lots of challenges, and I may cry for a little while. I may, sit in the couch and, but afterwards I was like, say what? No, no, I'm not gonna let this foolishness get me down. This did not work. Let me figure out another way to make it work and whatever. That is what we want to empower each and every person that is listening to Chelsea and I today. It's possible for you. God did not just pick the two of us out and tell us, you guys are special. No, He said He created us in His likeness and in His image. And everything that we need is already in us. And some people don't know how to get it out. That's where, you come in, I come in, we're both coaches and we're able, whether it's to do fitness, whether it's to help you establish your business, that is what we do. So if you don't know how to pull out whatever it is that God put in you, you know what? Check me out. Check Chelsea out. How would you convince someone to do something they didn't want to do?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question.
And we're not talking about our husband.
Right. It's actually not that hard to convince Jerry. I just make a solid argument, and it's not even really much of an argument, but he always hears me out. So to convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do, I always like to use the response. Well, what's the worst that could happen? It works out for you. Because I'm like, okay, you might not want to do it, but you might reap so many benefits from doing it. You might learn that you don't like that. Okay, but in the process of learning that you don't like that, you now are more confident in something else that you might not have felt very confident in before. You might get the results that you're looking for. You might even be happy and enjoy it. So what is the worst that could happen? It works out in your favor.
I think that's a very good point. And when I try out things, or I think I know thousands of people, and because I have moved a lot, I've traveled a lot, I've done many different businesses, and this week my daughter also is I don't know if you want me to call her a coach, but she coaches me as well. She and my husband, they're my two strongest supporters, and even in her coaching me this week, she said, Mom, all this, because I've had so many business ideas, I've had so many different businesses, but I realized they were not all for me. I'm an entrepreneur I was born with it. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to try to take my mom's can of peas and whatever it is, jello in the box, and try to sell it to her customers that came. They came to her to get their dresses and stuff. And I'll be sitting by the door of my little shop trying to sell my mother's produce, which nobody bought it, but
but you
it's something that was embedded. I tried. I've never stopped. But what I learned that a lot of times you may go through different challenges. So like for me, my instance, start different businesses. I'm now realizing that God, it was all in God's plan. It was a process that I had to go through to bring me to where I needed to be. Uh, Now I can look back and I had a cleaning business. I do not like to clean. But now I know why I had a clean business, because if someone comes, me as a coach, I'm coaching businesses, and people that say, you know what, I want to start a business, I don't know how to go about it, I don't know if I have it in me. Now I have all these different ideas that I can give to people and say, you know what, this is how you go about this, and all this different. I had a daycare, I did home health aid where I was an independent provider in Ohio, and I go to people's homes, and I was a phlebotomist where I would draw people's blood, which that in itself was a miracle because I hate blood, I don't like needles, I don't even watch it. And then I was very good at doing that. But I realized that all that was bringing me to where I need to be right now. And so nothing in our life is wasted. Nothing, even when they say like, okay, I tried this and I did not succeed in that thing. But you did succeed in something. You tried. And you never know when you're going to look back and say, you know what, oh, years ago I did this. And it's going to come back to you. So we have to take it where we tell ourselves, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? I'm just going to try. And that's what, we encourage people to do. Let's go on to, let's see what time. Oh, we're doing good. What do you like to do outside of work? And we're going to go into that question. And after that, so we want to tell our viewers to be prepared, because once she answers this question, then she's going to give us a few techniques. And that way you can use that in your everyday life. And if it's something that you like, you can call her, and she's willing to work with you guys, because both, just like for me, I want to empower my listeners emotionally, spiritually, mentally. She's doing the physical part of it. It all comes together. The physical, the emotional, that's what we want. We have something good, something amazing. We don't want to keep it to ourselves. We want to empower you and to encourage you that you can do it as well. So tell us real quick, what do you like doing outside of work?
So I like plants. That's one of the things that I like to do outside of work. I love to model.
I can see in the background.
Right. I was like, this is background from all the plants. I love to craft. So my actual bachelor's is in fine arts. So if that doesn't tell you that I really like art, art is my second passion, and I translate that into my daily life through, makeup, just the way that I even plan out, your workouts and exercises. I think about it aesthetically, also through functionality. But as far as like extracurriculars, I love concerts and festivals. I like to dance, lay on the couch with my husband and watch terrible Netflix shows, and chase our 7-year-old around because he likes to be chased.
Where do you get that time?
I make time. The Sunday download that we talk about, I actually write down a to-do list for all the stuff I need to do for my week, and then I block it out on the calendar. So that way it also holds me accountable. So I'm really strategic about the way I utilize my time. Otherwise, I find that I'll waste it or it'll get absorbed into something else. So I like to protect my time for specific things and, make time for the things that I like.
I like that. I like that too. Make time, because I think so many times in life, because I'm hearing all the things that you're doing, and you have a son, you have the different careers, the different things that you do, and you make time to have fun, make time to do things outside of work. Because a lot of times we're like, okay, I work a 9-to-5 job, I'm working. What this corona has, one of the things it has taught me is to slow down, because God knows I've never been in the house that long. And I've never, half the time I don't know whether it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I either have to ask Alicia or try to go and check my phone. And even when I sit there, I'm like, wait, it's Friday? I missed a whole week. But it has taught me to slow down, take a break, and Well, kind of. I'm still doing a lot because even while I'm there, I was able to go back, do an online course and get certified in business coaching and entrepreneurship. So that was something that, even if all this craziness, I was able to do that. And also to get, when all this happened, it takes my mind back again on sometimes things happen in life where we're faced with challenges. And it looks like it's the end of the world. Looks like, okay, maybe you have a dream home that you want to get, and then everything falls through and you did not get it, and you're sad. You know what? I didn't get the house. There is something better, or the car, or the job, or the things that you want. Sometimes when challenges come, a lot of us try to go back in and hold ourselves in it instead of saying, you know what, this is a challenge. I'm going to face it. I'm going to try to figure out maybe I should navigate left or navigate right. But it's a good idea that whatever challenges that you face, and I want to encourage you, don't sit back and let the challenge overtake you. Stand up and face it. Stand up and face it, because the Bible says that God never puts anything on us that we can bear. And with every temptation, with every obstacle, everything that we face, He makes a way of escape. So many times we make the excuses and we don't want to push through or fight through it. We're like, you know what, well, I just can't do this. No, I'm encouraging you today. Step out. Even if you're not sure what you're doing, even if you do it afraid, then do it. I want to empower you. You can use me as an example, even Chelsea, someone that my college teacher told me that I would never succeed, you know, right. And I was not going to go to finish college, I should just quit. I was able to graduate college, and even with all the places that God has taken me, my goodness, it was because I was like, you know what? I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to trust God. The same thing with COVID. When that happened, I had literally just quit my job in February because I worked at a crisis center, and it was really overwhelming. I knew that was not the place I needed to be. I love working with people with the mind, with mentally ill, but I got my nose busted, my lip busted, my knee bruised, and I was like, okay, and I was so stressful that even my doctor said, you need to give up that job. And I did that, and I go, okay, I'm gonna work in my store full time, and bang, everything was shut down. And I think it's when March, March, April, May, June. Well, I don't even know what month it is, May. And
it's still May.
After a while, I stopped counting. And I had to, sit back and say, well, I can't go to my shop. I can't go back to work. What am I going to do? And I had to seek God and just step out in faith. And I started making the face mask. I was like, oh, I made the face mask. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to sell it for this. And if I make 100, I'm going to make this amount of money. I'm like, cool, I'm good. And then I went out. The first thing, God said, you know what, give them away. I was like, okay. So I gave it away to the first responders, and then it just kept, I kept just giving out. And it's amazing how God has blessed me. Even use I have had friends that just say, you know what, I want to make a donation towards the nurses. I want to help you support the firefighters. I want to help you support this and support that. And I have friends that just say, you know what, I just want to support you personally. I want to just bless you. And I have not been able to work for, I think, from March until today. And God has just continuously blessed me and continually made a way for me. And for that, I am so grateful. And I know I went way off of topic, but I just love to encourage and empower people that,
yes,
no matter what you face in life, no matter challenges, and challenges will come. Disappointment is going to come. But celebrate the small wins. Celebrate the wins. When you have a disappointment, try to go back and say, you know what, let me look for something that I can celebrate. Because even you have eyes to see, or mouth to speak, or a roof over your head, that is something to be grateful for. So I just want to encourage us, and we're going to go and get ready for our fitness workout.
It's a 5-move, 5-minute workout.
5 move, 5 minutes. Okay, so let's go.
All right. I'm ready if you're ready.
Okay, so I think my I'm watching it over here. It's kind of slow.
That's
Okay, so
okay. Because I have to demo out the exercises anyways. So
uh,
that's okay. So I have 5 moves that you can do in 5 minutes to give you a full body workout from head all the way to toe. And
okay,
you're gonna do each move for 40 seconds, and then you get a 20-second rest at the end, and then you're done. It's pretty straightforward. Easy
okay.
enough. All right, so your
I'm
first.
gonna have to do it afterwards because I can't really see because I'm the way my camera is, and it comes back to me in my iPad like really slow because the camera's over there. So I'm
That's
gonna
okay.
watch what you're doing and then I'll do it later on in my
That's not a
privacy.
problem. So
Go ahead.
my first move is what we call a surfing pop squat, right? So imagine that you're riding a longboard. So I want you to stand out to the side. You're gonna actually sink down like you're doing a squat. So you're surfing, right? And you're gonna pop your feet in together, and then you go surfing again. So it's a surfing pop squat. So you would do that for 40 seconds, and then at the end of your 40 seconds, you have a 20-second rest. Then your next move is a cardio version of some fighting moves, which is a uppercut and hook combo. Right, so with your arms in a nice fighting stance, so right beside your head, to do an uppercut, you're actually going to sink down, and as you come up, you're going to punch up and across your body. Then you're going to turn to the other side, and then to do a hook, you're actually going to hook your arm, and you're going to pop your heel off the ground. So you're going to squeeze your glute, and then you're going to do it to the other side. So it's uppercut, uppercut, hook, hook. And you would do that for 40 seconds. So now you're working your arms, you're working your core, right? So we're getting the abs in, we're starting to define those arms. Then next we have a standing crunch. So you would start with your feet shoulder width apart. And you're actually just going to step one leg out to the side. That arm on the same side is going to reach up, and you're going to place your other hand on the hip for stability. And you're going to bring your elbow towards your knee, standing nice and tall. So it's a standing crunch. So you're continuing to work your abs. This move is great for stability. So it's also great for reinforcing that core, which should help if you notice that you like hunch over. This will help to actually like straighten you all the way up. So then the last 2 moves actually require a chair, or you can do them on the floor. I've trained a lot of people that need modified exercises. So these are our 2 go-to moves. So your next move would be a chair push-up. So you would grab a chair, you would have your wrists directly underneath your shoulders. You just walk your legs back, and you're gonna make sure when you do your push-up that your elbows are coming down and back behind you for a nice push up, okay? So you have 40 seconds of a push up, and then you have the crossing mountain climbers. So once again on the chair, your wrists are gonna be directly underneath those shoulders. You're gonna walk out into a nice high plank position, and then you're gonna bring opposite elbow towards your knee. So you're crossing for crossing mountain climbers. And it's a nice modified one. So if you can't get down to the floor to do it, you can just find a chair. Your chair doesn't have to be as high as mine. It can be lower, but there is the ability to do it on the floor. So those are your 5 moves that you can do for 40 seconds, and you get a full 5-minute workout. Easy enough, targets the whole body.
Wow. How do you do all of that and talk at the same time? Wow.
It's lots of practice. Lots and lots of practice.
That's amazing. So that's kind of what the classes, because I know you do classes. Is that every day?
Yes, we do offer classes every day, Monday through Saturday. And we actually have, for Memorial Day, we have a sale going on our website where you can get 30% off of your first month of group classes, and you can get 30% off of merch. And our website is my company name, which if you could read, it says Cut From Stone. So it's www.cutfromstonefit.com. And then we'll actually include, if you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, the referral code that'll give you that nice discount. So.
Okay, that's very good.
Yes, and we do have women's only classes.
What was that?
I said we do have women's only classes. So if you are like a lot of the ladies that I train and you're not comfortable training with the opposite gender, we have a class that's just for you. And it targets the 3 main areas that women are interested in, which is tightening our arms, right? So you have no saggy down here, nice and firm, getting the core together to give you that nice hourglass shape, and then working on your glutes so you have a nice butt. So yeah,
I definitely, I'm definitely gonna try to do some of that as well. But do you, right now, are you doing like virtual classes or do you do one-on-one? How do you do it right now?
So everything right now for me is 100% online. So I'm doing personal training 100% online. I'm also doing group classes 100% online. I offer life coaching and nutritional coaching all online. So it doesn't matter where in the world you are, I can train you and help you be the best version of
Wow.
you.
That is very good. So I'm saying to my listeners, including myself, there is no reason for us not to do this because I mean, you guys can see her. She used to weigh 215 pounds,
Yeah.
and then that was a decision that she made in her mind that you know what, this is not satisfactory. So I want to encourage us. It's possible when you tell yourself, you know what,
It is.
this I don't. This is not the way I want to be. This is not the way I want to look. And it's not just for losing weight, but also to be healthy and
Yes.
to be fit. And also, you guys know, even I believe in the natural, doing things in the natural way. My husband is a naturopathic doctor, and then we have an office in Fayetteville as well. So we all are together in this wellness, trying to get to you mind, body, and soul. Get it all together. That way, when you step out into this world and the environment of all the things that are out there, that you are fit, that you are covered, your immune system is strong. So I want you guys to take this chance. Just get a 30% off. This is a deal, and you don't even have to leave your home.
Right, you can do it all from the comfort of your house.
You can't do it like while you're living in your room. No one have to be looking at you. This for me that is good because I remember I tried to go to a Zumba class and sorry my microphone and everybody there looked like they knew what to do, but me and I was so embarrassed. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. But I will take a class if it's where you know I can do it at the privacy of my home. Someone was asking other classes. I'm like, okay, yes, we did cover that. So that I think is a good thing that you are able to offer them because even from what you were doing right there and your energy, your spirit, your empowerment, I really love that. And I can truly endorse you because I know you're a very honest person, you're a very giving person. And I really want our viewers to encourage you, you and your husband as a young couple. And you know, you guys have your own business, you step out on faith to do that. So I'm really praying that you know God will bless you and you will have, you know, a lot of you will be so overbooked, you'll be like, oh, whoa, I need to maybe train our plane to help me.
I'm okay with that. Bring on the blessing.
I'm really, what's that?
I said, I'm okay with being overbooked. I said, bring on the blessings.
Okay, very good. So you guys, my listeners, you guys hear that? Please, I'm asking you all to share this video. If you know anyone that is looking to be more fit and be more healthy, she has a women's group. You can train your children. We want to also, you know, train our children because, you know, when they got into this world, we want them to be fit, we want them to be healthy. So it doesn't matter where you are, what stage you're, whether you're a beginner, advanced, whatever. I know she works at all different stages. So her information is there. If you guys wants to get in touch with her and you don't know, you forget, whatever, just check me out and I will let you guys know. Before we leave, I just have a couple more questions for you. One is that, why is it important for people, that's a very, very important question, why is it important for people to stay fit? And how can we overcome the procrastination and fear of working out on a regular basis? That's my problem. Well, that's like 3 of my problems. Overcoming the procrastination, fear of working out on a regular basis. Yeah. Please explain that for us.
Well, I always like to tell people that fitness is a gift, right? And it's the best gift that you can give yourself. Because all you're doing is you're making yourself feel more confident, you're making yourself healthier, live longer. There's nothing but positives from it. You might be a little sore and you might feel discouraged because you're not seeing the results immediately, but just remember, with consistency comes results. And that's in anything that you do. So I always like to encourage people that you can't be the best version of yourself if you give up on yourself. I was like, nobody's gonna want it more than you. You have to want it for yourself. I want it for you, but I'm not you. I can only give you, you know, the proper exercises and nutritions, but you're still gonna have to do the work, and I'm gonna be here to support you. So it's just, think of it as a gift. Don't think of it as punishment. Just know that it always works out for your greater good, and that's the worst thing that could happen.
Okay, someone is asking to type your website, so I'm just going to put it in right there. Can you go ahead and say while I type it in, please?
Yes, so it is www.cutfromstonefit.com.
Okay, so it's cut F-R-O-M, stone.
Mm-hmm. Fit.
And F-I-T?
Yep, fit.com. And that's also
Okay,
our
so
name
make sure
on...
So
Yes.
it's cut from CUTFROMSTONEFIT.com.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so what someone was just asking for, so I put it on there, that way they can just go ahead and click on it, and that way with all the other information is on there as well, right?
Yes.
And you have opening, I'm sure you have openings, so anyone can just go ahead and will they be able to book right online?
They can send a request for a consultation, and then we'll book a consultation once we receive their request.
Okay, is there how much is the consultation?
Consultations are free. They only take about 15 minutes. It's a great way for us to get to know each other and to set realistic expectations for your journey. Yeah.
Okay, so all my listeners, right now no one have an excuse to not even just make that phone call, send that email just to get a consultation. And then she's gonna talk to you, she's gonna let you know what regimen is good for you, and I'm sure she has different levels of fitness classes. So go ahead and shoot her an email. The information is in the body of the live. So go ahead and shoot her email and check her out. I promise you will not regret. She is amazing, and Chelsea, I just really want to thank you. And where with all of this and everything that's going on, what do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What do you see yourself doing?
I still see myself doing this, but bigger. I want to have a larger scale of influence to help as many people as possible.
Okay.
And I have a huge passion for women and women's fitness. So I want to help as many women as possible to be their most authentic and comfortable and confident self. So really just taking our business as it is, watching it grow and flourish, and to take as many people with us as we can. So that's my goal for the next
years.
Very
good. And as one thing I know that in life, there's a process, there's a season. So we have to know how to own the season that we're in and be open that when the next season open, that you are open enough to step into it. So that's a good thing too, that you're open, and you have that love for women, and that we were both very passionate when it comes to women and kids. You guys know my charity, Restore to Empower. We work with women that have been abused, and that's why your husband and I we're working on, and you as well, on putting this program together where we can train women that whether they've been for sex trafficking, whether they've been for domestic violence, that class is going to be free for them. It's I think it's a 2-hour class that we're going to have in Fayetteville, where this women can come and get this Taekwondo. Your husband he's a 2-time black belt, right?
Mm-hmm. 2nd degree.
And he'll be the one that will be doing some of the training. So, guys, I just want to say, Chelsea, thank you, and to our listeners, for those of you that are just tuning in, this is, you guys, you can see the logo right. It's the Imagine Me Movement TV, and what this is, imagine it's a movement. Imagine yourself. You can do anything that you put your mind to do. Every one of us, we have a purpose. There's something that we're called for. And we want to be able to step out in that. So I want you to imagine yourself. And if you don't know how to get what it is that you need, that is where Chelsea and myself, my daughter, we are all this. You have a range of coaches in your reach that we can empower you, coach you, speak to you, and let you know what it is that God has already placed in you. Because God, the word said that He created each and every one of us a masterpiece. And no one can do what we were put on earth to do. So I don't want anybody to die and take the gifts with them. We don't want anybody to live below who they are when God has already instilled so much purpose and so much greatness in you. So just imagine yourself, and if you don't know how to get it, we can help you with that.
We can.
Let's see if we have any questions or anything on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we don't have any questions. I guess everybody, you have a question?
Glutes.
Glutes.
What do we do about little glutes? How do we get them pumping?
Okay, we have a question. You want to join us?
I'll just wait for a second.
Over there.
I was like, I know that voice. Hi.
I think it might be a little slow. Wait, let's see.
I see.
Watch the camera over there.
But the answer.
Okay, I have no clue what glutes are.
So she's talking about your butt. That's your glutes. So the trick to your glutes.
Wait. Oh yeah, I'll talk about the butt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how to make it bigger?
I can definitely do that. As somebody who did not have one before, I got you covered.
Biggest tips for glutes.
Okay, so the biggest tips for your glutes. Your glutes are made of multiple muscles. It is not just one muscle, right? So what you want to do is you want to hit it from the side, the back, and the top, right? So from the side, and you can do this just standing. You're just going to kick one leg out. That'll activate the side glute. You can kick your leg straight back. That'll activate the bottom of your glute, like so right down here. And then if you want to hit the top glute, if you just actually like bend over and arch your back, it'll target the top of your glutes, which intersect with the lower part of your back. I got you.
Okay, I'm gonna be working those glutes tonight.
Yeah, and I was thinking it's simple. You can do it while you're just standing around. Just, kick a leg out.
Great. Yeah, while I'm cooking and doing something. But it's not a good idea to do it on the bed, right? Sometimes I try to exercise on my bed, like put my foot up my head.
You can do them laying down.
Okay.
At this point, there's really no way to not work them.
That's the thing that make it where it's easy. We have no excuse, and even after watching today and knowing that it's possible, you give a Facebook Live. I think every day. That's like 15 minutes, so people can join up there.
It's a 15-minute
personal classes. That's amazing, and I just like I want you to succeed. I want our viewers to be in their best health. So I'm encouraging you guys to reach out to Chelsea and make sure that you get your workout going on. That's a good thing as well for couples, and especially now that a lot of us are home. I think if we spend that time maybe doing workout, we might not get on each other's nerves,
Yes.
Or even while we exercising together, we can knock one out and just say, "Oops, sorry," I'm just saying.
You'll sleep better, which means you'll have less time to fight and be aggravated.
Very good, very good. Well, Chelsea, this was pretty amazing. I'm really thankful. Thank you for taking. Oh, it's 9:20. Thank you for taking the time out and coming and giving us all these tips. And I just pray that you continue to be who God has called you to be. Continue empowering women, empowering the young girls, and continue what you're doing, because I know God has a really great plan for you, because you give back so much, and you can never give too much, and the more you give is you empty out your reservoir so you can be filled again. So I thank you for giving. I thank you for your time, and thank you for your husband and that beautiful son of you guys. Have a really wonderful week, and God bless you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Over there in turn. It's a pleasure to have you. I really enjoyed it, and my microphone is making a little noise.
That's okay.
Okay, so now I'm gonna just say goodbye. And if I get any questions, anybody have questions, we'll be able
To contact
to
me.
let you know. So thank you once again. And let's see. Yeah, someone said great job, Chelsea. My husband said great job, Chelsea.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's
she
good to
did
hear
an
from
amazing
you.
job. What's that?
I said it was good to hear from him.
Oh, okay, yes, yes. I can't wait for him to be back. And then that's what we need to do, do with him doing the wellness and you doing the fitness. We need to get something together
Team
where
up.
we're gonna empower. And me doing the style. As you guys can see, there's some of my dresses out there. So I always try to represent. This is one of my gowns. Oh, I forget to talk to you guys about the mask. Back there, there's a mask from Barbados, there's Dominica, and there's, wait, who's the next? St. Vincent. And we also have Trinidad. I don't have any from Jamaica yet, but if anyone from Jamaica wants, they can get it. But we also, these are the different masks that we made. So once again, thank you very much. And thank you very much for all our listeners. Remember to share this video, tag your friends in it, and let your friends, your neighbors, everybody know how they can get their fitness going, and they can do it from the privacy of their homes.
They can.
That is a huge blessing. So thank you, my dear, and God bless
Thank
you. You have a really great evening.
You too. Bye.